Hello everyone, welcome to my update US gossip channel. In the world of sister wives, where every decision about land, money, marriage, loyalty, and family dynamics spirals into years of fallout, nothing has shaken the fanbase quite like the explosive unraveling of what many viewers now call Kody and Robyn Brown's $2.1 million Coyote Pass heist, a move so layered, so emotionally charged, and so clearly designed to consolidate control that Janelle and Christine have finally united in a way the family once believed impossible, stepping forward not with vengeance but with truth, exposing exactly how the land that was supposed to symbolize a united future instead became the ultimate symbol of betrayal, favoritism, manipulation, and the crushing end of plural marriage dreams. The story begins where so many sister wives battles begin, with promises. When the Brown family first bought Coyote Pass, Kody insisted the property was the next chapter in their family destiny, even convincing his wives to leave Las Vegas, where they were financially stable, socially connected, and finally living in harmony, to uproot their lives for Flagstaff's high-priced housing market, unpredictable costs, and endless uncertainties. Janelle, always the practical one, was the biggest cheerleader of the vision, not because she trusted Kody's leadership but because she genuinely believed the land could ground the family long-term. Christine, meanwhile, carried hope that the move would help heal the emotional fractures that had been deepening for years. But behind those optimistic confessionals, viewers have seen the pattern again and again. Kody would make grand promises, then quietly shift the rules, the expectations, the finances, and the favoritism in ways that benefited only him and Robyn. The so-called heist didn't happen all at once, it was a slow burn, a calculated shift of percentages, responsibilities, and emotional weight that left Janelle and Christine pouring money, energy, and faith into a dream that was never meant to include them in the long run. As the family settled in Flagstaff, Kody and Robyn took on the high-value, move-in-ready home, one that immediately placed them in a better financial and emotional position than the other wives. Robyn had stability, security, and a permanent home, while Janelle ended up in an RV and Christine remained in limbo, carrying the emotional load of being the peacemaker even as her marriage collapsed. Those financial disparities weren't accidents, they were the foundation for what would later become the clearest evidence that the entire Coyote Pass plan had pivoted into what fans now call a two-person land grab. Over time, the numbers started to shift. Kody began discussing new divisions, reassessments, and more practical adjustments, always emphasizing that legal documents needed to be updated, but somehow those updates only served to give Robyn larger portions and give Kody more control, while putting Janelle's investment, easily hundreds of thousands of dollars, in jeopardy. Christine, who had spent years contributing financially to the family pot, had already been pressured to sign away her earlier Las Vegas equity and later her portion of Coyote Pass, under the guise of keeping the peace and helping the family move forward. Fans watched in disbelief as Christine's contributions were erased, dismissed, or minimized, an emotional theft as much as a financial one. The heist wasn't just about money, it was about rewriting history so that only one wife's household truly mattered. When the land reached its final valuation near $2.1 million, it became unmistakably clear that Kody and Robyn's goal was to secure that value exclusively for themselves, even if it meant leaving Janelle with nothing and ensuring Christine's former stake never counted. But the downfall of their plan, and the reason fans now say Janelle and Christine destroyed it, comes from the strength and clarity both women gained once they stepped outside Kody's orbit. Christine's exit was the first earthquake. The moment she left, the entire illusion of united finances collapsed. Her departure exposed the truth that the family pot wasn't a shared dream but a funnel that kept directing resources toward one household. She spoke openly and bravely about how she had given and given and given, only to be told she didn't deserve the emotional partnership that should have come with it. When Christine left, she didn't just walk away from a marriage, she walked away with the truth, and she began publicly setting the stage for exposing how deeply the land situation had been twisted to favor Robyn. Her confessionals became a mirror reflecting what fans had suspected for years, that Kody and Robyn had been maneuvering behind the scenes long before the breakups. Meanwhile, Janelle, who had always been the most financially invested in Coyote Pass, became the second earthquake. Her breaking point arrived when she realized the man she had trusted to manage the land fairly had absolutely no intention of ensuring her stability or honoring her contributions. Every conversation they had about building, zoning, loans, or shared financial risks circled back to the same manipulative patterns: excuses, delays, shifting stories, and emotional blame. Kody demanded loyalty before paperwork, obedience before transparency, and emotional allegiance to Robyn before any practical decisions could be made. But the moment Janelle understood the truth, that Kody and Robyn fully intended to keep the developed portions of Coyote Pass for themselves, using Robyn's mortgage payments as the justification for larger ownership, the heist was no longer hidden. It was exposed. Not through confrontation, but through clarity. And once Janelle had clarity, she did what she always does: she handled it with quiet strength, intelligence, and determination. She refused to sign documents that didn't protect her. She refused to be guilt-tripped about money she had already contributed. She refused to let Kody rewrite reality with emotional manipulation. And when the property finally sold, at a value dramatically higher than what the family originally paid, Janelle and Christine both stepped into the most powerful phase of their post-Kody journey, speaking plainly. Together, through social media, interviews, new relationships, and a united front grounded in honesty and personal growth, they forced the truth to the surface. They didn't destroy Kody and Robyn through revenge. They destroyed the heist by refusing to be silent. They destroyed it by refusing to be painted as villains, or unstable, or unreasonable, or ungrateful. They destroyed it by standing up and saying, "This is what happened. This is the truth. And we're not apologizing for exposing it." Their courage undermined every manipulative narrative Kody tried to spin, about loyalty, faith, obedience, unity, and family order. The show's tone shifted. The audience shifted. The power shifted. And suddenly, the couple who once controlled the emotional and financial center of the Brown family found themselves isolated, not just socially, but narratively. The more Kody tried to defend his decisions, the more he revealed himself. The more Robyn cried, the more fans questioned why her tears always aligned with financial protection and personal security. The more they insisted they were victims, the more the truth glowed through the cracks: they had benefited immensely, financially and emotionally, from the systematic erasure of 3 other women's needs. And now that the land is sold, the money is real, and the spotlight is brighter than ever, Janelle and Christine's voices have become impossible to silence. The heist is exposed not because of paperwork, or legal battles, or dramatic confrontations, but because Christine and Janelle finally stepped into their fullest, most authentic power, and once they did, their truth dismantled everything Kody and Robyn tried to construct. Their sisterhood destroyed the illusion. Their honesty destroyed the manipulation. Their growth destroyed the imbalance. And their independence destroyed the heist. In the end, the $2.1 million saga doesn't reveal the collapse of Coyote Pass, it reveals the collapse of a marriage system built on inequality, favoritism, emotional control, and financial secrecy. Janelle and Christine didn't just expose the heist, they ended the era that allowed it to happen, and in doing so, they reclaimed the narrative, the dignity, and the future that Kody and Robyn never wanted them to have. And now, as the emotional dust finally begins to settle, the legacy of the $2.1 million Coyote Pass scandal is becoming clearer than ever, not just to the fans who watched every twist unfold but to the Brown family itself, because what Janelle and Christine revealed didn't just expose a land deal gone wrong, it exposed the very foundation of how the family had been operating behind closed doors for more than a decade. The heist wasn't simply a moment of greed, it was the culmination of years of subtle shifts in loyalty, authority, and financial prioritization, all funneling toward Kody and Robyn's household while the other wives were left to absorb the consequences. And that's what makes the fallout so powerful. For the first time in the show's long history, the wives who were once divided, discouraged, and manipulated into silence have become the narrators of their own story. It's not Kody telling the family's truth anymore. It's not Robyn crying her way into another sympathetic edit. It's Christine, laughing in her kitchen with David Woolley while finally feeling seen. It's Janelle, standing firm in her independence, traveling, rebuilding, and making choices without waiting for Kody's permission. Their empowerment has rewritten the entire emotional landscape of the show, revealing the deeper truth that the heist was never just about land, it was about identity. It was about silencing the women whose labor, sacrifice, and commitment built the family's financial stability in the first place. It was about convincing them their needs didn't matter, their dreams were unrealistic, their contributions were replaceable. But once the women reclaimed their narrative, every part of Kody and Robyn's strategy began to crumble. On camera, you can see the shift in Kody's confidence, his swagger replaced with confusion, his certainty clouded by frustration, his attempt to rewrite history backfiring as the viewers finally saw through the emotional manipulation he'd used to maintain control for so long. And off-camera, Robyn's role became even clearer. Her confessional tears no longer read as heartbreak, they read as fear, fear that the system designed to benefit her was collapsing, fear that she could no longer hide behind the narrative of being the obedient wife, fear that the light was finally shining on the financial imbalance she had quietly protected. But for Janelle and Christine, that freedom has turned into something much more meaningful than winning a financial battle, it has turned into a rebirth. They have become the emotional center of the show, the fan favorites, the moral compass, the women whose lives now inspire others to reclaim their self-worth. Their friendship has deepened into something stronger and more supportive than anything they shared during the years of plural marriage, because now it's built not on survival, but on choice. And the beauty of their bond is that it stands in direct contrast to everything the heist represented. Instead of scarcity, they live in abundance. Instead of rivalry, they live in solidarity. Instead of fear, they live in absolute freedom. So if Kody and Robyn once orchestrated the perfect setup, a slow-moving takeover of family land, finances, and resources, it is Christine and Janelle who delivered the final blow by simply telling the truth, reclaiming their power, and refusing to let the past define their future. And that is why the $2.1 million Coyote Pass heist will go down as the moment the Brown family's old system died, not because of drama, but because two women finally decided to live for themselves, and in doing so, exposed everything Kody and Robyn never wanted the world to see.